Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful souls. Well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we are diving into another episode in our series of Living Life Abundantly. And this month, we have been exploring how abundance can enrich every aspect of our lives. And today's episode is about cultivating creative abundance and tapping into our artistic side and using creativity to enhance our emotional and mental well-being. And I am so excited to welcome back our resident therapist today, Dr. Will Washington. Not only is he a gifted therapist, but he is also a talented musician who believes deeply in transformative power of creativity. And Dr. Will share his journey, insights, and strategies for embracing creativity and how artistic expressions can lead to more of abundance life. But before we bring Dr. Washington on, I want to remind everyone about our 10-day book challenge starting on Monday, November 11th. We'll be reading Bob Proctor's book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, which aligns beautiful with our theme of abundant living. So during this challenge, we'll dive into daily reflections, practical exercises, and accountability with our community page. This is a wonderful opportunity for personal growth, and I love for you all to join us. You can find this book on Audible or on Amazon, and I'll share the links in our show notes. But let's shift our mindset together and make a space for more abundance in our lives, all right? So let's take a quick break, and when we return, let's get deep into this topic with Dr. Will, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So, shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on the
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season
barrier.
of Self-Love podcast.com.
Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it
All right, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we are on this month's series of Living Life Abundantly. And today we have our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington, joining us on this conversation. Hey, what's going on?
It has been too long. I missed this spot. This is nice. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Yes, you too. Well, I had to welcome you back on a nice, great topic that's right in your
This
realm.
you really chose this one.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the accumulation of everything I've worked on in my life has come into this mind and music journey. So this is like, you put me in the right position, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. But guess what? You know what I'm about to do, right? I'm
Oh
about
my
to
God.
pass you the ball because you know how we do it. You know, I know it's
Yes,
been a
we do.
long time, right? I know
Let,
it's been a long
let me
time.
stretch. Let me stretch.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
didn't
stretch my meditation
stretch it
muscles.
all out, stretch it out.
Right.
If you are new here to the season of self-love and you don't know what's about to happen, usually what we do is we do a nice little guided meditation real fast before we get into the topic at hand. And so since we hadn't seen Dr. Will in a little while, we want him to guide us
Mhm.
for a nice little quick guided meditation before we get into the topic, all right? So if y'all just close your
Yeah.
eyes and just soften your gaze a little bit while Dr. Will, lead us on.
Do this. So I want you to get relaxed. Just sit down. Allow yourself to just feel your body for a moment. Just imagine yourself falling into yourself. Deep breath in with your nose, out with your mouth. As you inhale, take some time to just take an inventory of your day, what you did to get here, why you needed to be here, why you want to be here, and what you want to become after you listen to all this. Deep breath in with your nose, out with your mouth. When you breathe in, I want you to think of the word truth. Breathe in truth. Exhale, I am. Breathe in truth. Exhale, I am. We're not worried about you being honest today. We're not worried about the lies that were around you. We're worried about you being your truth. Breathing your truth. Exhale, I am. Understand that everything around you is a reflection or an opportunity to learn from and to let go from. Breathe in truth. Exhale, I am. And as you listen to today's podcast, give yourself a chance to open your heart, open your ears, open your mind, and know that you're receiving your truth for the day. Inhale truth. Exhale, I am. Do one more breath and we'll begin. Inhale your truth. Exhale, I am. Slowly come back.
Why, thank you. We needed that one.
That felt good. I
Yeah,
needed
we
that for
needed
myself
that one.
too.
We
Yeah,
needed that
I
one.
had to center real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we needed that one. It's been a minute.
Mm,
It's been a minute.
mm,
Yeah, it's been a minute. So thank you for that one. Thank you for that one.
of course.
We breathe it in truth today, y'all. We breathe it in truth. And again, if this is your first time listening to us here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, it's something that we do every day, Monday through Fridays. We ground ourselves first before we get into the topic at hand. And today we're talking about cultivating a creative abundance, embracing your artistic side. And we have our resident therapist here, Dr. Will, with us. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about creativity and why it's such an important part of living abundantly. Embracing creativity isn't just about painting, writing, or playing music. It's about expanding our minds, opening up new possibilities, and finding joy in self-expression. So we tap in the flow of the state that nourishes our spirit and helps us to see what the world in fresh and exciting ways. So creativity can always be a powerful tool for what self-discovery and emotional release, whether it's through writing, dancing, I like to do that, crafting, or any other artistic pursuits. Creating offers us a safe space to explore our feelings and express parts of ourselves that we might be able to do in words. So now I like to bring Dr. Will Washington so he can dive deeper into this topic. Now, for you, Dr. Will, I know you be on them horns, on them,
A little bit. A little
yeah, a
bit.
little bit on them horns.
I'll try. I'm trying.
Could you start by sharing a bit about your journey with both a therapist and a musician, especially for those that don't really know what you do? Because we talk about your therapy a
Yeah.
lot, being a therapist, and I think we only
Mhm.
hit about your music once. So I want them
Yeah.
to hear both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to tell it from a very vulnerable point of view. Um, Music was my first love, truly. Um, I didn't realize this until I became a therapist, but I actually trauma bonded with my music,
Mm.
not realizing it. So I grew up very, I was dyslexic. I didn't know what that meant. Back then, you didn't know what that meant. I just couldn't read good, right? So I just didn't understand, but I was always listening to teachers, listening to what they said. And I was
Mhm.
very performative. So they never thought I had a reading issue because I was just able to repeat and I was very social. Um, but I never could really say how I felt about things. And music was the first thing that really gave me a chance to find my identity.
Mhm.
And one of the golden rules here is that creativity is one of the most authentic forms of self-love, right? And so your ability to create is an act of self-love itself. And so that's why I'm so excited to be here. And my music journey, I started out on trombone. I
Mm.
wanted to play the saxophone, but my mom was like, "We ain't got no saxophone money, so you're gonna play this trombone." And so I was like, "What is this?" And for those of you, any millennials out there, I was trying to be Pork Chop from Doug Funny, the show, because the dog could play the saxophone really good. White tux. I was like, I want to
Mhm.
be like Pork Chop, but I got trombone. So I was the awkward kid in the bus, and I completely did not like my experience. And so, but every time I was in class, I understood the music. I could play it by ear. I could learn it really quickly. It was the one thing that came natural to me. And
Mhm.
so as I grew up, I never had the resources, but I always created the opportunity because of the gift of
Yeah.
being able to listen to sound and become a part of that. Music never hurt me. Music opened me up to another world of feeling that I couldn't express as a little black boy in a predominantly a white institution or white community. And so a lot of times I was always finding myself through art. And so I realized that art, it wasn't just a thing I did, it was a part of who I am. And, 10, 20 years down the road, you know, it was amazing that I was able to have beautiful opportunities of traveling and touring the world and then learning from some of the greatest artists of all time and also learning about Black culture in
Mhm.
this way, right? Playing music that my elders were playing, this is ancestral, and realizing that I was made for this.
Yeah.
And through my music, I found my healing. And so if it wasn't for me touring and playing, I would never found therapy, because I also found from another musician, they said, you should be a therapist. You'd be really good at that. And I was like, nah, I'm trying to be performing every day, making money. And, and it changed my life. And I'm currently on a journey of actually decolonizing my ears. And
Mm.
so I'm learning how to decolonize the way that I understand music, because I listen like a European person, or
Yeah.
I learn in a way that is a certain frequency. And so I'm learning to undo what I've actually learned to get through, and actually learning the power of frequency, understanding chords and structures and harmonies, and what do these things actually mean in my body? What does it mean to my DNA? What does it mean to my mental health? And so I'm creating this new spiritual relationship with music and sound, right? And learning how to respect the God that is, and respect what has been created. And so it's been a unique journey. After learning one instrument, now I know nine. So
Wow.
and so there's instruments that I do show people, and there's some instruments that I don't show people,
Mhm.
because each instrument is a expression of a part of me. And so some I only do for ritual, some I
Mm.
do for performative, and some I do for relational. And so I've learned to create this holistic aspect to music, and art has been the reflection of my own healing. And so that's why when things are really going on in the world and like are really difficult in the world, I always look at what artists are doing. So it's really important to always watch artists, because they are usually showing you what's happening in the world internally, not externally. So that's why artists are so important, and being creative is a way how you contribute to the healing of our world.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Before I ask you this question, I know before you had said that you had went to a Andre 3000 concert. How
Mhm.
was that? Because now he's now not left rap, but he went over to, playing his instrument
Yeah,
right
he
now.
transformed. Yeah.
Yeah, he transformed into something else. How
Yeah.
was that experience being in that element with him? It's a new
Oh my
element. How
God.
was that?
So it's a very funny story, because I was there genuinely just to see him in this new element because we actually have some of the same flutes from the same flute family, and so I actually brought my flutes with me so they could receive the energy from
Yeah.
that show, so
Mm-hmm.
I could have a part of that. And I was also under spiritual warfare at that time and didn't even realize it. So I was dealing with spiritual warfare. It was actively literally across the street, like across the room. And I'm sitting here focusing on this, and the confirmation that I received in that moment about my truth, about my heart, about my mind, I realized that it was what warfare there wasn't my war. That was a
Yeah.
war within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed my help to be a part of that. And I just
Yeah.
could not. That's just not me. That's not my heart. And it was amazing to see him standing and bending over, doing different instruments, just kind of going all around. And at one point, he even started speaking his own language. And I didn't know what he was saying, but it felt like it was for me.
Mm.
And it felt like it's time to do your thing. It's time to be confident about being yourself. It's time to
Mm-hmm.
accept what you've already done. There's not that you can learn more instruments, but you still have the same purpose.
Yeah.
There are degrees you can learn. There's certificates you can learn, but you've already had the knowledge you need to share.
Mm.
People are waiting for you.
Mm.
And so it taught me to be still in
Yeah.
chaos. It taught me to be still in someone else's distraction. It taught me to trust the person that I love. It
Yeah.
taught me to trust the vulnerability that I see in myself. And it was one of the most experiential moments. And I have a thing about live performances, and I felt like I was in another universe in that moment. And I was sharing my truth, my Satnam, with people that I'm in love with. And I think that is the fact that I could go back in my own timeline and be in love through every timeline.
Yeah.
It was my piece. It was my release. So I really appreciate Andre for helping me understand the power of my own release by accepting my own creativity.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I just wanted to
Yeah.
feel that energy to,
Yeah.
how was that when you
Yeah.
got asked? But we was in deep in
Yeah.
another conversation. I just wanted to ask that, for
Yeah.
that. But we were talking about before, I got a question for you. Now, do you have any experience or stories that illustrate your transformative power of music or creativity in your practice?
Yes. So my brand is understanding that healing is my art. Healing is my art. And so for me, I see healing like music, like sound.
Mhm.
So for me, I created my own model based upon artistic development and medical oppression, right?
Mm.
And so a lot of times, a lot of physicians or veterans, right, they're actually extremely creative people, but they've created a discipline for the bigger picture. But then once they're, civilians again, or once they do get out of medical practice, they usually go into something that's completely different than anything else. Or engineers, they're highly musical and very expressive people, but you would never think that. And so for me, the work that I do is a reflection of how I see every single person as a song. Every single person has their own song if you're listening
Mhm.
enough. And so for me, I think like, oh, I got 8 clients today. That means I got to listen to 8 tracks today,
Mm.
and then also repeat their song back to them to see if they know their song that they're singing. Right. And so I try to look at it from that type of grace and acceptance, because one thing about music is that once you press play, you're ingesting that.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to make sure that I'm playing back out how they can see themselves. So I hope that I'm being a reflection of their higher self.
Mm.
Right. So I'm very intentional about how I listen to people, and also how I share myself with people as well.
I love the way that you put that. I do. I love the way that you put that. As you were talking, I was like, I'm about to be funny with this one. Um, what's my music? What does my soundtrack sound like to you?
Mm. I got two. I got
That's a
two. I
good
got two.
question,
I
huh?
got two. I got two. I was like, I can't give you one. I gotta give you at least two. I gotta give. I feel like you're an OST or you're or you're African polyrhythm. So you're OST. You're an original soundtrack.
Okay.
The original soundtrack, which means that it's a thematic build, right? So it's like someone has to compose it to make it happen. I can't just press play. It has to be composed. Or you are polyrhythms. So that means that you can be African polyrhythms, Caribbean polyrhythms, Polynesian polyrhythms, but it's always a polyrhythm. It's always something that's going. It's always a drum that's going. It's always a tamp. It's always a rhythm that you have to be with. And so if you can't be on rhythm, you're going to get out. And if you don't understand that it's a creation that's actually happening, you got to get out. I just can't press play. I can go. The song could be 15 minutes long. The song could be 3 minutes long. It don't matter where you end up because it's always going to be playing. There's always going to be something going on. So, yeah, official soundtrack quality or you polyrhythms all day. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
Look, I don't even know how to take that. No,
I was like, go Spotify some stuff. Go look at some stuff. Go look at some stuff. I love it.
I guess I'm kind of glad you ain't say house music, huh?
No, but see, the house music that would be great though because house music has so many polyrhythms in it though. Without the polyrhythm, you can't have house music. It wouldn't even make sense. That's why I said I had to give you foundational genres. I had to give you foundational genres. I couldn't just pick one. Yeah, not gonna put me in that. No, not gonna put me in that.
That was nice. All right, so let's talk about overcoming creative blocks. All right. So we know that creativity is beneficial, right? So yet many of us, we struggle with those creative blocks. I know I have. I know I've had it. So, but like we've had that self-doubt, perfectionism, all of those things. So for you, Dr. Washington, what are some of our common barriers for creativity and how can we overcome them?
Yes. So let's start from the outside in. 3 things. The first thing is that a lot of times we externalize our life way too much. We are always out trying to get something. We're looking for the next thing, right? Not realizing that number 2, we are the next thing, right? And so are you okay with your story right now? Because creativity is based upon your story. And a lot of times artists feel out of place because they're externalizing so much that they don't actually know their own story or what they're going through. Or the internal part is there's either doubt or they're afraid to actually reach deeper in because a lot of times this is going to sound weird, but we have the reverse effect of this where some artists are so stuck in their past creating music that they actually don't evolve, which is why like I love some of the artists that like Bruno Mars, right? Created himself over 4 to 5 different times and they all smack in their own in their own era, and why did that happen? Right? Because you understand the power of evolution. He understands the power of evolution. And a lot of times artists feel limited because they didn't get their green light. A lot of times artists are waiting for their green light or their first yes to become something else. And you cannot wait for somebody else's applause. You cannot wait for someone to applaud for you. You have to be your first fan. And a lot of us are afraid to do that because we're looking for something that's outside of us. Or we don't believe it's within us, or we don't want to have to address what never was within us. And so a lot of my artists, especially my Grammy Award-winning artists that I work with, once they start healing, their sound changes, their albums changes, their work changes, and different instruments sound different to them because there's a different connection to sound, right? So frequencies are also emotions. So if their emotions change, their frequency changes. It means they're listening to different types of music now. So that's why I love seeing like trap artists that are like using samples and learning what samples they're using, because what was the history of that sample? What was during that time? What was during that era? What made you go back there and bring it back and make it yours? I love that creative flow because it's honoring a past, present, and future sound at the same time.
Yeah. Just recently, Quincy Jones just passed away a few days ago.
Ugh, ugh,
And yeah, that was a
ugh.
hit. But what
Still
I
hit me.
didn't realize is that how many hip hop artists had sampled his music. A lot of music that I didn't
Mhm.
even know that he had did. And I'm like, oh, he did
Yes,
that. Oh, he did that.
yes,
Because
yes.
really we even though we know that he did things way before Michael Jackson, but I just didn't know some of the things that he did before Michael
Mhm.
Jackson. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? Like I
yeah,
did not know. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I
yeah.
didn't know that he had did that.
I have so much to say about Quincy, but to know the 70 years of work, the amount of genres, the amount of political, racial, social climates that he crossed in the name of music, and being able to be so translatable. He broke the code of music and understood sound and understood humanity. This is someone that went beyond music and understood humanity.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him timeless. We will not get another Quincy Jones
Yeah.
again, especially with what he culturally went through,
Yeah.
right? And I just, my love for him is amazing. Is so phenomenal for him. And I have friends that have direct connection and have worked with him before, and they all have talked about the humanity of him. Not even about his music. It was just about the humanity that he could create amongst people. And I love the stories I hear from him. So yeah, my heart just like I'm actually not as sad as I'm actually not as sad as I could be, because I'm like, this man just defied humanity, like human life, like completely just soared in his own
He
way.
lived to like 90, 91, 91,
One.
92 years, 91.
Yes.
So he's
Yes.
lived a great life.
I'm
And
proud
he's
of
did
him. I'm like,
so
he
many
deserves it.
amazing things. Man,
Yes. Yes. He deserves his rest. He
yes.
he opened so much for everybody. And I mean
Yes.
everybody. Everybody. Yeah.
Literally.
So,
Yes. There will be
yeah.
no Michael Jackson. Like literally. Like he off the wall. Come on
Mm-mm.
now. That kicked it off.
Just
What Michael
yeah,
Jackson by
and the
himself.
funny thing is, well, even the song with like even the like the violins, I think it was "Rock with You," right? And it was
Mhm.
just like oh, don't stop till you get enough, right? Right? And it's just like the argument that they had about I don't want Michael didn't want the strings. He was like, no, you got to put the strings in there. And they had an argument about it, and had a whole fight about it. And then the strings are in there, and that's one of the most iconic beginnings of music, right? And it's just like, it's like knowing how to stand in your truth.
Yes.
I do this because I believe this, and I'm not going to budge. I don't care who you are. This is what I
Yes.
believe in. And
Hmm.
that type of to tell Michael no like that, knowing that you have that's how you know that you're living your truth. When it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the name is, this is what I believe in. That's a
Yeah.
level of truth that oof, that creativity is that is beautiful,
Yeah.
truly divine.
Yeah. As we sitting here recording today, so many transformative things that's happened this week. You know, um,
Mm,
we are on the post of the election, and
yeah.
I know before we sat down and started recording, we had a conversation on the aftermath of it. And it would be wrong for us to sit here and talk and not bring it up, especially when we're talking about abundance and we're talking about creativity,
Mm,
we're talking about artistic in this forum, like here, and especially when we're talking
right.
about self-love. Um, my middle baby, she was, very anxious, yesterday, as well as I was, because I do have three girls. And it was
Mm-hmm.
very, this is probably the most political that I've ever been, because of so many things that was out there, the misinformation, information, or whatever that was going on, that it made me feel like there was going to be the end of the world. And as you and I spoke, is about it felt like that we have been mentally, emotionally abused for the past
Yes.
year, especially with the past 10 weeks. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? And so it made
Yes.
us feel so unsure of things. And now
Mhm.
we are here in this next day in the aftermath. And one of my girlfriends texted me and she was saying that my boss just texted me and she's not doing well.
Mhm.
And she said she's just crying. And then one of my good girlfriends texted me and said, "Sis, I ain't doing well. I'm trying to process this."
Mm.
And I'm gonna be honest with my listeners. I ain't been asleep, but I'm doing good. I'm good as hell because I processed it. This is my thing is I put on my headphones about 10 o'clock at night. I would not watch the whole thing. I just couldn't. I couldn't
Mhm.
watch it. So I just had on my headphones. And the very first song that came up for me was a gospel song called I'm in My Winning Season.
Mm.
I'm in my winning season. And it
Man,
kept repeating.
you might have to get that playlist out to people. Whatever playlist you got, you might have to have Naomi's playlist. that might be a thing. Yeah.
Right. And that's not even my first song. I
Wow.
just, push your
Wow.
playlist, you put scramble, and it came up. I'm in my winning season, you
Wow.
know. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And it kept repeating itself. So let me tell you about this repetitive. I'm reading the book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And it's something that Bob Proctor says about being repetitive and repeating things over and over again so it can stick in your mind. You repeat it over and over again so you can change your mindset and it'll be of second nature. So that song just kept coming in my head and my mind. It kept repeating that you are in your winning season, that everything that you touch is winning. Everything that you attach to is one. You understand what I'm saying? So as it continued to keep saying that in my
Mm.
mind, now
Yeah.
I've risen. Now I'm up. I'm
Wow.
up. I'm in my little moo. I'm up downstairs now, deep cleaning. Now as I'm
Right.
deep cleaning, the next song comes on is a Patti LaBelle song called "It's a New Day."
Mm. The timing of it all.
The timing of it all. So at this moment of this time, and it's telling me, look, that election is over with. There is nothing that you can do. Nothing. You are still in your winning season.
Mm.
You have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. In the midst of all of this chaos, there is a light that you have to keep staying focused on.
You have to stay in your light.
You
You
have to
have to
stay
stay
in
in
your light. You have to stay in your light. Even through all of this chaos, you still have abundance. Do y'all hear me?
Yes.
Even through all of this chaos, you still have an abundance of life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we can't deny ourselves also the dark, right? The dark is meant for us to learn, to slow
Yes,
down, to
yes,
gather, to
yes,
resource. So
yes,
that when we're in the light, we know what we're giving, right? We have
yes,
a lot of people that have pure intentions, but the impact is not always the same. And then
yeah,
we have to learn how to ground,
yeah,
right? You can't control the impact, but you
yeah,
can control your intentions and you can always relearn how to ground. And
yeah,
so people that are also in their dark, like this is a moment for you to relearn, to recreate, to refocus, to recenter, to
yes,
recollect some things. Because it's
yes,
so important to value your dark as much as your light. You have to balance. You have to
yes.
balance.
You have
You
to
do.
balance. You have to balance. The next song that came on was by Earth, Wind, and Fire
Ooh, what was it?
called
What was it?
Listen. Listen. On this is one of my favorite songs. This is my dad's song. And it's On Your Face.
Ooh, that's a cut. Ooh, that's a cut. See that's those are real fans. Those are real fans. They're
Yes.
feeling fired. Yeah,
Yes. And with
yeah,
that song, I had did a show speaking about this song because this song right here, it says, no matter what's on your face, you get the power from within. You understand what I'm saying? This with
mm-hmm.
that on your face, you get the power from within.
Mm,
In this book, in this change of the paradigm, change your life. He talks about this song by Nat King Cole about pretending. I pretend, and it's an
yeah.
amazing song. And the song talks about Even though life is not real, you got to pretend and you got to act like you are in this moment. So it's like when you manifesting, when you're writing down your affirmations, when you're doing all of those things, you write it as it's happening right now. You write those things like they're happening right now. That's where you tap into your creativity right now. So even in that moment, I'm listening to all these songs. I'm cleaning, and guess what I'm doing? I'm dancing. That's a part of my creativity. I'm tapping into that. So I'm doing so many different things at one time, and my vibration is just, my frequency is just rising.
Yeah.
It's just out the door. I'm tapped in. I was tapped in. I ain't been asleep. I've been drinking
But see, I like that though because well, I like that though because let me ask you, like you at some point you're hitting a frequency where time isn't really time anymore, right? Time is a moment of obligation, right? You're entering a whole nother energy and frequency where time, it's not even about time, it's about who you are. If you know who you are, you're not worried about what time it is. There's a reason why Prince didn't have a clock in his practice room, in his creation room. There were no clocks. So you know what time it was. It was a time to create. It was time to be. And when you're done, you're done. When you're ready, you're ready. And I think that on you unlocking that is something that many people are afraid to jump into because they don't know the consequence of when they come back, what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you know to unlock that though? That's what I want. Like what made you be like, it's time? Like, what was it for you that was like, I want me. I want me.
So let me tell you, I'm gonna take you back a little bit. About a week. About a week ago. I'm about to take you back about a week ago. And it was a test of me truly wanting to change. It's truly a test of me wanting to change. I've been set down. I was recently just set down. Me having vertigo, these migraines coming back really hard. Like it set me the fuck down, Dr. Will. Like it set me down. Like I'm thinking like I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
You know that text I sent you, like, look, I got up in the driver's seat. I had to get up out that driver's seat.
I read that. I was like, oh, it's that kind of day. I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. Like I'm ahead of schedule with everything. I got all of my guests, I've got my interviews, I got my ebooks done, I got my courses, I got everything in, and damn, everything just kind of shut down. Well, I could not do anything.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, did I misread something? Did I mishear something? Am I moving too fast? And I got frustrated. So in that frustration that I got, my cry of prayer was show me. What am I supposed to do? Send me somebody. And then the next thing I know, my sister calls me. She tell me, here, she sends me this book. I got into the Friday to get it for free. I already had a membership, but I went and got it, listened to it. I was stuck. I was like, really? And then I committed to it. I committed to it, got my sister. I said, okay, we're going to be accountability partners for the next 60 days, 30 minutes every morning. We're going to listen to it. We're going to text each other what we got from it. We're going to keep listening to it every day.
Yes.
Every day. I've listened to it right now. I'm probably at 13, 14 times.
Wow.
13, 14 times. So as I'm going back, this is the thing. Every month I've been having an ebook. My ebook for this is already written. I just got to put it in format.
Oh, wow.
Why every time I sit at the computer, I couldn't put it in format. I couldn't even put it in format. My head would start hurting. I couldn't put it in format.
Oh, wow.
And what I learned from that book, it was like, if it becomes difficult for you to do, that means that you're forcing something that you shouldn't be doing at that moment.
Oh, that happened to me this whole month. Because I was turning in my model. I was like, here's my model I was gonna start teaching people,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to change the name. I had to
Mm,
change everything I was doing with it. And I was like, I can't think of a name. If it's not real, I gotta fix it all. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fix on this until I get the. And literally, the name came after my 40-day devotion,
mm,
and it was literally 2 days after that devotion, it came together, and I was like, for days I just kept trying to figure it out and just forced. I was trying to type stuff and it just was not coming together. I had to let go. I had to
yes.
let go until it was time, and I did not realize what that was. That's exactly what happened for me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Wow.
even in the book, so let me share this in a book. He's saying like he said, you gotta walk what you talk. So you can't be talking about living in
Mm,
abundance when your mind's still of scarcity.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't be if you still worried about you say you love what you do, but you worry about how you can make money off of this. Do you really love what you do?
Ooh.
Do you really
Ooh.
love what you do? And
It's
I'm like, yes, I
ooh.
love what I
Yeah.
do. Yes. So what you worried
Yeah.
about the money? You understand what I'm saying? That like you can't
Yeah.
sit there and talk about living in abundance and not know, you know what I'm saying, and speak to these people
See,
about it because now you're not doing it.
exactly. Exactly. And the beautiful the mentality behind that, right? The psychology behind that is it's not about what I can give, it's what I have to offer.
Offer. Yes.
Because you can give anything you want. What I
Mm-hmm.
have to offer is very specific, it's very resourceful, and it's very
Yes.
strategic, and it's very intentional. I
Mm-hmm.
give every single day.
Mm-hmm.
What I offer people is hope and
Yes.
change and healing,
Yes. Yes.
right? Even in my
Yes.
music, I give hope, healing, and change.
Yeah.
These are things, but I'm not worried about what I'm giving anymore. This is what I can offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate to say it, but when it comes to people pleasing, they love to give. They love to give. People pleasers love to give,
Mm-hmm.
and they get mad when they don't get anything back, or they feel depleted. It's like because you didn't know what
Mm-hmm.
you're offering. Do you know what you're really offering when you were people pleasing?
Mm-hmm.
And they realize that, and then it creates a whole nother spiral.
Yeah.
So that abundance mindset of just knowing what I have to offer, really understanding what you have to offer,
Yeah.
is how you live within abundance.
Mm-hmm.
That story is amazing. That
Yeah.
story is amazing. Yeah.
And so
Wow.
it was like I couldn't get it together. And then something said,
Yeah.
you know what, share the book. Share the book. Do it. So I always do a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge wouldn't even come through. Do a 10-day challenge. Open up a whole new community. Do a 10-day challenge. Try
Mm.
something new. Go in there. The
Yeah.
same thing you do with your sister, do it with a group of people. Y'all
Wow.
listen to it for 30 minutes or whatever like that. Open up a
So
Discord specifically
you
for that.
so you made your offer,
Yeah.
an offer they can't refuse because they know once they do it, they're going to change. Offers are very intentional,
Yeah.
and you gave that. Wow. Mm. So all that creativity came from where?
It came from a prayer. It
Hmm.
came from a prayer. It came from a prayer of so let me see, because I can answer it two ways, and let me tell you why. Because now I understand what the feeling was. Because it wasn't totally mine. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't totally mine.
Right.
Because I love my family. So when I feel stress from my family member, my partner, my lover, and I feel the stress from him because we're partners, and I know he's taking the grunt of mine because now he got my
Mm-hmm.
back, and he like, baby, go do this. I got this. But I see
Mm-hmm.
him struggling where I was that we was, we was buying clad, we was
Right.
living a life, and now I see him doing. So now it's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
wait, hold on. I'm dropping the ball in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. And he, so But he like, no, I got this. And I'm thinking, wait, hold on. I still don't want you, but that's me with him. And he like, I got it. So then I had to
Yeah.
check myself and allow that to happen and continue to do what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that level of faith, right? But also you're trusting his abundance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
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 And that's beautiful when you can recognize the abundance in somebody else and you
Yeah.
realize what they're giving you versus what they're offering you. And it's
Yeah.
offering you the chance to live your dream and do your thing. It's like that's the offer. It's like you have to keep living your thing. If not, then your thing is not going to happen if you don't
Right.
respect my abundance.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing.
Mm,
And I remember having this conversation with myself. I remember I said, this man was chosen for you. So do you understand this man? You both were
mm,
chosen for each other, you know, and
mm,
you have to understand why. There was no one that could be able to treat your heart the way that he can treat your heart, as well as you
mm.
treat his heart the way. There's no one that can do that. The way that
Right,
you two, that your life, you are a true Bonnie and Clyde. Can't nobody do that but you two. And I chose and picked you for that reason. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? So in that you have to sit back and look like, I am so wealthy. I am so wealthy, and that I have
Yeah,
everything right here, all of this. I am wealthy.
yes,
It just takes me to get out of my way and understand that you have to use the abundance that you have right here and right now. I think I talked about this earlier this week about using what you got. And that's what we don't do. We don't use what we got. We always trying to figure out what can we get more of. Use what we got right here. And now we'll open up more doors for what we got. Be gracious with what we got. Why you
right,
gracious for that, and then more stuff will come. We got to take care of what we
exactly.
got. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that because to hold abundance is knowing what you have in resource.
Yes.
And a lot of us, we are so forced to, once again, you externalize so much that you create that self-doubt and then you live in past cycles and you
Mm-hmm.
forget the entire abundance of why you're even there in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Yeah. I don't think people realize how wealthy they are. And that's what makes them always worried about being rich.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
So even just and I think that is how I was able to truly tap in, because I've been listening to that book. I've been
mhm.
listening to that book in this mouse. I got a
Yeah.
mice in my house. I have been definitely afraid of a mice. So this is where I'm going back to that. But I'm definitely
What does the
afraid of.
mouse spiritually? What does the mouse mean though? Because mice mean something.
I looked at it,
Spirituality
man.
of mice.
I saw it was two, but it was a mice. But it said
Mhm.
it was a new. Now you're gonna have me go look it up. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I looked it up. So yeah, I got you. So mice symbolize cunning, resourcefulness, adaptability, and quick wittedness. They're associated with fertility, abundance, and new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're able to do great things despite the size.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're known for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. When I saw it, and I'm gonna tell this story again. I told it on the Monday. I told it on the first coming back.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I had went to go visit my daughters. We had a nice little weekend, and I came back, and I don't know how it got in here. I either it got when I pulled up the carpet because we get ready to redo the stairs, or I
Hmm.
left the door open or something. But it got its little butt in here. You know how you doing stuff and it kind of. I'm like, I ain't see nothing. Maybe
Yeah.
that was Zara. Maybe that was not. I just know I ain't seen nothing, right? So I
Ah, God.
I get up and I'm like walking to the bathroom. I get out the bed and I'm walking
Uh-huh.
to the bathroom because I'm getting ready to really clean up. I'm getting ready to um as I call simplify my life. I'm getting ready to take the stuff that's in my closet and I'm getting ready to give it away. I'm really
Yeah.
getting ready to do minimalist living.
I
Like a
love
lot
it.
of stuff
Yeah.
that I don't need, I'm getting ready to give it away, you know. And so I'm like, yes, talking to my sister, like, yes, text her, yes, we get ready to do this, we get ready to change this pair. Like I walk, I take a step, and this little thing like go. I must have screamed so loud, I high jumped from there onto my bed. My mother runs out the room with a broom.
Oh, now she got activated too.
She got activated. She runs out with the room. And so I'm already on the phone.
Now you call me.
Jamaica.
Oh my God. He didn't even get down the mice didn't even get downstairs yet, and you already called the phone.
He was like, I'm gonna have to get you a hotel room.
Oh, it was probably a little thing too. It was probably a little
It
tiny
was,
thing
but I
too.
didn't care. At that time, at that moment, I did not care. So I'm on a bed and I am stuck. I am so stuck. And he like, baby, he was like, because I'm like, I gotta do stuff, I gotta work. My whole idea was like I needed to do some episodes. Like I was really on my work thing. I was getting ready to do. So my mom was standing at the door with the broom. She's like, what's happening? I said, I saw a mouse. So she said, oh, you so chicken. Like now she calling me a chicken, right?
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I go. So I said, but you my mama. So you supposed to come in here. This is what you do. This is what your job is to do, to come and protect me from this little mouse. So I'm about to play your game right along with you.
But the fact that she got a broom though, that's crazy. The fact that she got a broom is wild.
Right. So she come in and she looks, do her little thing or whatever like this. So I'm on a bed stuck. So as I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him on the phone, I'm texting my sister, girl, it is a mouse in this room. So she texts me back, I know you downstairs ready to go. I know you downstairs packed and ready to go. So because everyone know I am on my way out the door. I am on my way out the door. So I sit there and he said, well, see if baby girl, if she can help you to get your stuff and pack and then, go ahead and take. I was stuck on that bed and I was sitting there and I took some deep breath in and I was like, hold on. I said, no, I can't do that. I said, I got a mission. I said, I got a purpose. Like I said, I cannot allow this to stop me.
You can't
I said, I
say double
cannot
like
allow this little mouse to stop me. I said, no, I'm about to put on these headphones. I'm about to listen to this book and I'm about to get it going. So I said, no, I'm about to get it going. So I got off the phone with him, put on my headphones. My mama was still talking to me. I'm got down, moving stuff. I'm doing. Then my sister called, right? So, I'm full because I've already, I sat down there, whatever the mouse, I said what I was going to say to the mouse. I gave the mouse a name, Jerry.
My cousin Jerry.
I gave the mouse a name, Jerry. When I see Jerry, we're going to have a conversation. Jerry and I going to have a conversation. It was just all of that, right? And so I love how you
humanized. I love how you humanized your fear, right?
Exactly, I did.
You humanized.
And so my sister was like, "Girl, because I would have been downstairs." The same sister, we doing accountability. We trying to get out of this paradigm together, and you just trying to feed on to my.
You're trying to shift your paradigm like this,
right? And so I'm talking to her, and I said, "No." I said, "We got this." I said, "I'm gonna get a little box." Now I'm visualizing. I'm doing a visualization with her. I said, "I'm doing a box." I said, I got a little box. I said, Mama gonna kind of, run it in. I said, I got the box. I'm gonna open it, and then he gonna run into the box. Then I'm gonna close the box. I said, what you gonna do with the box? Here I go. Then I'm gonna take the box, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna run down the stairs. And then all of a sudden, I felt a box shake. Oh. Well, there was no box in my hand, but I felt the box shake in my hand, and I screamed. Oh. That is how strong that visualization was.
Ooh. the amount of power your mind can create, the amount of power your mind is. See, we underestimate our own minds.
My sister,
You
I'm getting
created
off
that.
the damn phone with you. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was so
Wow.
many things that was happening that I said, okay.
Jeez.
I said, I said, no.
Mm.
This mouse was supposed to be here for a reason, to show me to tap
Mhm.
into my powers more. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, no. All right, Jerry.
Yeah.
I ain't seen Jerry. I haven't seen him in a minute. So I don't know where Jerry's at.
Okay, I'll come back to check in and see what you learned. Let's see what you learned today.
You know, I don't know where Jerry's at, but I've just been working and cleaning and working and cleaning, and that's
Wow.
it. And if I see Jerry, I say, I'm not gonna kill Jerry. I'm not gonna kill Jerry. I'm gonna put him in a box and I'm gonna take him way, way, way
And go for a walk.
down the street. About 10 blocks over.
With the other cousins.
Right. I'm gonna have a man take him about 10 blocks over.
Right, right, exactly. You don't take a walk with Jerry. You want to take a walk with Jerry? He may like that. Jerry may like that. That's a wild story.
Yeah, but
it's a
that's
great
how
story of
I tapped in.
manifestation, though.
Huh?
Yeah, that is a great story of manifestation. But that is like, whoo, yeah. And you haven't heard from Jerry since.
Actually, I did. So wait. I heard, I didn't see. I heard from him, but I didn't see. So it had like this little they don't even make traps like they used to back in the day. So it was this little trap. And I'm coming upstairs with my plate because now I'm working. Like I'm now working in my room office. You know, I didn't come down to the studio, I'm working in my room office. And as I'm walking down up the stairs, I hear I'm like, oh, he got caught. So I'm texting like, oh, he got caught.
Yeah.
And I'm tiptoeing in, like
what? This is there's no point. Okay, go ahead.
Look, the house is probably like this big. I'm in my mom rushing. Mama, I think we called. She said, "What? What?" Now she don't forget what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
Say a mouse. It's a mouse in the house. What was talking about? Oh yeah, I go. Oh shit, I forgot. She forgot.
Just don't look at my broom again. Oh God.
No, I go and she comes right behind me. Tiptoe, got the broom. She got the broom. Go ahead and we look. And she said, well, where is that? And then I'm looking. And I said, I think over there. So I'm pointing. Look, I'm sitting this 73-year-old lady in there with dementia. It's over there. She
said, oh, she don't know no better.
It's right there. I said, I think it's flipped over. She said, girl, ain't nothing here. She said, but he ate the peanut butter.
Well, at least now Jerry's gonna stay because you feed him. Jerry be like, I like it here.
But he was struggling for a minute. I was like, well, maybe he ain't got no back because he got the sticky thing.
Right. Now you get Jerry a cape. You're gonna get Jerry a cape. Now you're gonna the flying rat. See this. Oh, that's rough. Because now you got. Okay, yeah, you need a better trap. That's first and foremost. You need a better trap. That's the first step. The meaning behind it is this is a relationship now. It's no longer an enemy thing. This is a relationship now you have with Jerry.
It is, and that's what I'm looking at it as for me to truly embrace my fears. Not, what I'm saying, not make my fear an enemy, to embrace my fears, because a lot of times our fears are our protectors. Protect us at times. You understand what I'm saying? There's sometimes give us alerts, and so in this moment, that is where, like you said, you humanized it. You given it a name. You're doing it. So right now, I am actually giving myself tools for other things down the line that might be even bigger. You know?
Yeah.
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 And that's literally like the symbolism is being able to do great things despite its size. That's literally
Yeah.
the symbolism of a mouse. Mouse can
Yeah.
do so much despite their size.
Yeah.
And what you're preparing yourself for is exactly this next journey in your life.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I am gonna miss Jerry though. I hope you get a picture of. I hope you get a picture of it and you send it to me. I hope you do.
And my mom was like, why Jerry? I said, like Tom and Jerry. Like, I
Yeah.
just love that cartoon, Tom and Jerry. And Jerry, you know.
Yeah. But you know the rule. The thing is that you may want to change the name because in the show, Jerry never got caught.
Now see,
You named it, so you already told the whole story. So I'm just saying, Jerry never got caught till this day. So you might have to manifest a new name.
Jerry don't have no babies then. All right, you know, do
Where there's one, there's usually two.
don't say that. Don't say that.
But it's okay. But it's okay. You're in a good space. You have a good relationship. So you just continue
With
to
Jerry.
own. Yeah. just
Not
own.
with Judy.
No Judy, just Jerry. Just no Judy. This might be a
You know,
five.
Judy might not like me.
Well, no, this might be a ratatouille situation. You don't even know. We don't know yet. He already he's like peanut butter. Like, get some more ingredients. we might have the wrong mouse, so we don't know yet.
You know what? We always get a little sidetracked, go down a little rabbit hole, but it makes so much sense for for the story.
The creativity
but that is how
of it
I
all,
tapped
though.
in.
Mm-hmm.
That is how
Yeah.
I was able to tap in. I believe I
Mm-hmm.
know that's how it is. I'm still
creativity can overcome so many. Creativity overcomes so many fears, and that's why artists create so much, because they understand what the world's going through and they create, and it makes it more digestible. So many artists have so many stories of pain, trauma, hurt, and they put it in ways that make us feel good about ourselves. That's the beauty of creativity, the abundance of it all. So yeah.
Well, thank you. As always, it's always good, Doctor. It's always good, Dr. Will. It's always
positive. It's always positive.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, my beautiful people. All right, my beautiful people. Remember, starting on Monday, we are starting the 10-day book challenge. We're reading the Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor, which is a fantastic resource of shifting your mindset and embracing abundance. You just heard what the book has been doing for me. And when I tell you, I am so ready. Let me tell y'all something, and I shared it earlier this week. I said by the end of this year, when I begin 2025, it's a rebirth for me. All of 2025, that whole is called rebirth, the year of the rebirth. And this is what it's all about. And I understand right now what's happening with me, that this needed to happen. That even with my mic, even with, my vertigo, imagine my vertigo happening in October, the month of balancing, the act of balancing. You understand? You understand how all of that shit is going up? And the crazy thing is, I couldn't get a doctor's appointment no time before then. But as soon as that happened, doctor's appointment, boom, 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 boom. Lined up in a row. Boom, 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 boom.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm being obedient. I'm understanding. I'm understanding everything.
Yeah.
I'm more aware now than ever. I'm more aware now than ever. And I am learning to listen more, speak less.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, because during my spiritual warfare, during that concert, all the things that were said and done, I didn't reply back to anything, because I never wanted to say, do, or treat somebody in a way that I may regret when I'm in my next stage in life, when I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure my success was genuinely pure and my
Yeah.
intentions were pure.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's one prayer that I always do, especially when there is conflict amongst in situations and stuff like that. I always say, if this moment or this relationship is no longer aligned in who and what I am is today and in the future, I ask that you remove it in peace. Yes. Yes, always. Because I want to make sure that there is never any ill will, because there is always love. There is always love coming from me. And I will want that love returned back. Because even though we might not be good in this season anymore, I never know, I might see you some seasons down the line. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I don't want to, and I know a lot of people say once you cross that bridge, you don't want to cross that bridge again. But we might be on a whole nother bridge that's way down the road somewhere. I might not be
Yes.
going back down that one bridge right there. I'm going up the street, not back over there.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You got any last words, Dr. Will?
Yeah. Make sure you are kind to yourself and heal always. And I will say one more thing. Create something this week. Whether it's a drawing, a painting, a sculpture, create something. Just create something and say it's for you. Create something for yourself this week.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you,
Of
Dr.
course.
Will. It's so good to have you back. So good to have you
Yes.
back. And you, my listeners here, thank you for tuning in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps us to reach more people. And remember to follow us on our social media for updates and to share your creative journey with us. So until next time, stay open, stay creative, and remember that there's abundance and beauty within you just waiting to be expressed. Have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.